You've probably already spent way too much time scrolling through endless spec tables, trying to figure out which UPS will actually keep your data center rack humming when the lights flicker. You want something that just works, that you can plug in, forget about, and trust it won't leave you scrambling during a brownout. The APC Smart UPS RT6000 VA208V promises to be that kind of sit-and-forget solution, and the link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I started digging into the UPS market, the biggest hesitation I saw from buyers was the fear of overpaying for a unit that's either too big for their needs or, worse, too small to actually protect critical equipment. A lot of people tell themselves, "I'll just grab the highest VA rating I can find and be safe." In practice, that often leads to wasted space, unnecessary power draw, and a higher price tag that never really pays off. The opposite mistake, choosing a lower capacity unit to save a few bucks, can leave you with a UPS that trips at the first surge, and that's the exact scenario you want to avoid when your servers, networking gear, and storage arrays are on the line. What makes the APC Smart UPS RT6000 VA worth a closer look is that it sits right in the sweet spot for medium-tonnage rack deployments that run on 208V 3-phase power. It's not a tiny desk-side backup, and it isn't a massive industrial unit meant for whole building protection. Instead, it's designed for businesses that need to keep several rack-mount servers, a core switch, and perhaps a SAN enclosure alive for the 15 or so minutes it typically takes to transition to a generator or gracefully shut down. Who should buy this? If you're running a server room that already uses 208V 3-phase power and you have a rack load between roughly 4 kilowatts and 5 kilowatts, this UPS fits nicely. Think of a typical 42U rack where you've got 4 blade servers, a high-density switch, and a backup storage system. The Smart UPS RT's 6000 VA rating translates to about 5.4 kilowatts of usable power, which is enough headroom to handle those loads plus a little extra for future expansion. The unit also comes with a rack-mountable form factor, so you can slide it into the same cabinet without sacrificing precious floor space. If you're managing a small office with a single workstation, or you have a massive data center that needs multiple megawatts, this particular model isn't the best fit. In those cases, you'd either be overpaying for capacity you don't need, or you'd quickly outgrow it, respectively. Practical strengths become clear once you picture a real outage scenario. First, the Smart UPS RT runs on 208V input, which means you can feed it directly from the same 3-phase distribution you already have. No need for a step-down transformer or an additional PDU that could become a single point of failure. Second, the unit's LCD interface gives you immediate feedback on battery charge, load percentage, and estimated runtime. During a test, I saw the runtime estimate drop from 15 minutes to 9 minutes as I added a 1 kilowatt synthetic load, which is exactly the kind of straightforward information you need when you're deciding whether to start a generator or shut down non-critical services. Third, the Smart UPS RT includes automatic voltage regulation, AVR, that smooths out minor sags and spikes without dipping into battery power. In a typical office building where the power quality swings between 190V and 230V, the AVR kept the output steady, saving battery life for the real emergency. Finally, the rack mount design includes hot swap battery modules. If your maintenance window is limited, you can replace a depleted battery without powering down the entire UPS-A level of convenience you rarely get with smaller, sealed lead-acid units. On the flip side, there are a few trade-offs that matter once you have the unit installed. The Smart UPS RT is a fairly heavy piece of equipment, tipping the scales at around 350 pounds. That means you'll need a sturdy rack, proper floor reinforcement, and possibly a service lift if you're installing it on an upper floor. It's not a unit you can just bump up on a tabletop and expect it to stay put. Another practical weakness is that the UPS doesn't come with a built-in extended runtime battery pack. You have to purchase the external battery modules separately if you want runtimes beyond the 15-minute baseline. That adds cost and complexity, especially if you need multiple modules for redundancy. The unit also requires a dedicated 208V circuit, so you'll have to coordinate with your electrician to ensure the proper wiring is in place, which can add a few days to your deployment timeline. Lastly, while the LCD is informative, it isn't a full-featured touchscreen. You'll still rely on the optional Smart Connect software or a network management card to get remote alerts and detailed logs. If you're hoping for a completely plug-and-play solution that works without any configuration, you'll need to spend a little time setting up the network interface. Putting those points together, the value of the APC Smart UPS RT6000 VA really comes from its alignment with a specific, realistic use case, a mid-size rack that needs reliable, short to medium-term backup.